We tend to think of light as, well, just something that helps us see, right? But what if I told you it's actually one of the most powerful forces shaping your sleep, your mood, and even your overall health? Let's get into how this incredible hidden power really works.
Okay, get this. For 7 out of every 10 people who struggle with winter depression, the answer might be as simple as a daily dose of bright light. Seriously, research shows it can make them feel a whole lot better in just 2 weeks. That's the kind of power we're talking about today.
And that's exactly the kind of science we love to dive into here at Sleepedia, a corner of the internet dedicated to the science of sleep and circadian rhythms. Today, we are going to break down exactly how you can use light to become the master of your body's internal clock.
So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with how light is basically the conductor for our body's orchestra. Then we'll look at how modern life messes all that up, especially for shift workers. But hey, don't worry. We're then going to talk about the solution, how light can be a reset button. And we'll wrap up by looking at how it literally brightens our mood.
All right, first up, light's clockwork magic. I want you to think of your body as this huge, complex orchestra. You've got all these organs and systems playing their own parts. Well, light is the conductor, tapping the baton, making sure everyone is perfectly in sync with the 24-hour day. And the conductor's podium, the headquarters for this whole operation, is a teeny tiny part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. You can just call it the SCN. This little spot is your body's master clock, and it takes all its marching orders directly from light.
The whole process is actually beautiful in its simplicity. So, morning light hits your eyes, and that sends a signal that zips right to the SCN. And just like that, the SCN broadcasts a message to your entire body. Okay, people, it's daytime. Time to be alert, get some energy, and let's go. It's basically the starting pistol for your day.
So that's the ideal. But, and this is a pretty big but, our modern world is in a constant tug of war with that natural rhythm. And this battle, well, it really heats up every single night, completely disrupting our sleep.
And you can see the huge difference right here. For pretty much all of human history, darkness in the evening was the cue for our brains to release melatonin, the sleep hormone. But today, that blue light from our phones, our laptops, our TVs, it's screaming at our brain that it's still high noon, which basically slams the brakes on melatonin production. It pushes our internal clock later and later, making it so much harder to fall asleep.
Now, for a lot of people, this disruption isn't just about an hour or two of scrolling on their phone. For some, it's their entire life. And that brings us to the shift work challenge, which is really an extreme example of what happens when your body clock is completely, totally out of whack with the world around you.
And the fallout from this is, well, it's serious. Studies show that because of this constant light-driven disruption, shift workers are at a 30% higher risk for things like gastrointestinal issues and mood disorders. That constant fight against your own biology really takes a toll.
And that's really the key thing to understand. You can force yourself to stay up, you can drink all the coffee in the world, but your biology is fighting you every step of the way. Your internal clock is literally hardwired for a sunrise to sunset schedule, and it just does not want to work the night shift.
Okay, so we've talked about the problem, but what if the very thing causing all this disruption could also be the solution? That brings us to our next section, how we can actually use light as a powerful reset button to heal and recalibrate our internal clock.
The secret ingredient here is intensity. Light therapy isn't just any old lamp. These special light boxes blast out about 10,000 lux. Now, to give you some perspective, that's more than 20 times brighter than the lights in your office. It's such a powerful signal that your brain basically has no choice but to sit up, listen, and hit the reset button. And the results from using this are they're incredible. One study found that for shift workers, a daily morning session with one of these 10,000 lux lamps led to a 40% improvement in their sleep quality and their mood. Another one showed it could shift their entire sleep schedule 2 hours earlier in just 3 days. I mean, that's absolutely life-changing. So if you are a shift worker, what can you actually do? Well, for starters, try to use warmer, dimmer light when you're on your night shift to minimize that disruption. This next one is crucial. Try your best to keep a consistent sleep schedule, even on your days off. And finally, whenever your daytime is, get as much bright, natural sunlight as you possibly can to really reinforce to your body clock when it's supposed to be awake.
Now, this powerful link between light and our body clock, it goes way beyond just helping us sleep. It also has this direct, really profound impact on our emotional well-being and our mood.
It really comes down to some pretty simple chemistry. When you're exposed to sunlight, it helps your brain produce more serotonin. And serotonin is a neurotransmitter that basically acts as a natural mood stabilizer. You can just think of it as your brain's very own happy chemical, and sunlight is a key ingredient to make it.
This connection becomes crystal clear when you look at something called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. It's a type of depression that is directly tied to the lack of sunlight we get in the winter. As the days get shorter and darker, that master clock, the SCN, it can get kind of confused, and that can lead to low mood, feeling tired all the time, and other symptoms of depression. And this brings us full circle right back to that incredible statistic from the beginning. We have a ton of research confirming that just 30 minutes of light therapy every morning can lead to a huge improvement in mood for 70% of people with SAD, and that's within just 2 weeks. It's just such a clear, powerful demonstration of how much our mood really depends on light.
So, where is all this headed? As our technology gets smaller, smarter, and more personal, it's pretty fascinating to think about the future, isn't it? I mean, could we one day have smart glasses that give us a personalized light prescription to perfectly manage our energy, our mood, and maybe even get rid of jet lag for good? It really seems like the future of our well-being might just be very, very bright.